Good morning, students. I'll be talking about the applications of softwares in the civil engineering. So, let us quickly start. So, I have divided my presentations into some key areas. So, see, like civil engineering is a very vast field. It is one of the oldest branch of of engineering itself. So this civil engineering, the software development has started way long back. So depending on the areas, the softwares are available nowadays. So the key areas which are available right now, they are in the area of like drawing and detailing. Then we have softwares available in the area of planning, then hydraulic engineering, then soil engineering, and of course the structural engineering. And the latest one is image processing and survey, and we have some programming languages also. So let us start. So the first software is basically AutoCAD. So AutoCAD, I think everybody is aware of this software called as AutoCAD. So this AutoCAD is a product which is developed by a company called as Autodesk, and this particular software is free for the students. So what you can do is you can simply go to the autodesk.com /education/home, and then you can download your software. So how to download it, that we will see sometimes later. Now, what is this particular AutoCAD? So AutoCAD, CAD means nothing but the computer aided analysis, or it can be used as drafting also. So here, this AutoCAD is basically used for drafting purpose, and it is used by many kind of engineers, maybe electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, civil engineers, architect, and many more. So whenever you are going for any kind of a design, you have to produce the respective drawing for that. So in early days, all those drawings, they were made on the sheets, and they are drawn with help of pen and pencils. But nowadays that thing is obsolete. Now we have to use these softwares, and with these softwares we can draw all those technical drawings very quickly, and you can get multiple copies of those drawings within no time. Okay. We can also generate 3D drawings in the AutoCAD. So this is another powerful feature. So this will help you to understand the three-dimensional aspects of the drawing. So these are the some typical drawings of a building. So here you can see these columns and beams and windows, they are shown over here. And as well as you can draw the 3D drawings also. Okay, so this AutoCAD is basically a 3D and 2D drawing software, and it is very much popular in the field. And there are many jobs which are related to the drafting itself. Okay, so the person who is good in drafting, he will get a very good salary as far as the drafting skill is concerned in AutoCAD. The another type of this website. So you just have to open a link called as autodesk.com/education/home. Here you will find a signing option. So in the signing option, what you can do is you can use a simple you can create your own account over here. Okay, so it can be your college account, or it can be your personal account also. So once your login is created, what you can do is you can go for a product. Okay, so there you will find so many products which are developed by the Autodesk. So some of the products which are developed by the Autodesk, including AutoCAD, they are free for the students. Okay, so here you can see the list of the products. Okay, you can go for view all products, and here you can go for the download your software. So once you go for download your software, you will find all the softwares which can be downloaded in this particular window. So if you click on any of the software, let us say if I click on the AutoCAD, so you will get a window which is something like this. So you can select what version you want, what platform you want, whether you want a 64-bit platform or you want to have a 32-bit platform, and you can choose your language, and correspondingly you can directly download this particular software. Okay, so again I'm repeating that this particular software AutoCAD is free for all the students, so you can download it from your end, and you can use the latest copy or whatever copy you want for your study purpose. Okay, the another kind of software which is very popular nowadays, that is the Revit. So Revit is also a product of Autodesk, and this software is basically a BIM software. Okay, so BIM is a technology which is used for the analysis, design, planning, execution. So almost everything is covered in the BIM. So Revit is a BIM software. We can go for a three-dimensional planning of the activity or maybe any project. It's a bidirectional. It has got a bidirectional associativity. So in case if anything is changed in the later stage or maybe a earlier stage, so the entire thing can be rescheduled instantaneously. All the views are getting revised. You can even go for the parametric modeling. Okay, so this is very popular nowadays. There are plenty of jobs as far as this Revit is concerned. So you can have a good command on this, and you will get a very good job as far as if you have the skill of Revit. Okay, so this I have already covered. That is, this software is basically view related, and we can have drawing and drafting, construction documents, on many things. Okay, we can create sub projects, and right from detailing to execution, you can plan this activity in the Revit software. Okay, so I won't be talking much on this. Now coming to the another segment, that is the project planning. Okay, so project planning is very much required, and whenever you are dealing with a bigger project, so we have to go for the resource management, human management, and activity management. Many things are there. So one of the most popular software which are used in the civil engineering for project planning is MS Project, or we can also use a Primavera. So we have this Primavera software available at RCOM Nagpur, and the concepts which are used in MS Project as well as in Primavera, they are more or less same. Okay, so let us talk about the MS Project. So MS Project is basically a project management software. Okay, and it is designed to assist the manager for many purposes like planning, rescheduling the task, and many things. Okay, and this particular software has got good connectivity with the other softwares also. Okay, so this is about the MS Project. So we can go for planning like defining goals, developing the task, establishing a time frame, resource availability, and we can go for the organization, that is the management of the activities. Now coming to the another segment, that is the hydraulic engineering. Now, in the hydraulic engineering, there are many softwares. This is also very interesting area. The major softwares which are developed, they are by the Bentley. Okay, so Bentley, it has got a different small softwares, like we have WaterGems, we have WaterCAD, there is a Hammer, SewerGems, SewerCAD, and many more. Okay, every software has got designed for a specific task. Apart from that, we have another softwares like Epanet is there, Branch, Sewer, and Loop. So Branch, Sewer, and Loop, they are basically DOS-based software. They are quite old software. But if you see the softwares which are developed by Bentley, they are nowadays very popular, and they are Windows-based softwares, and they are used very widely in the industry. Now, let us quickly see one of the software, that is the WaterGem software. So this WaterGem software is basically used to design and analyze the water distribution system. So whenever you are going for the say installation of a tank, then that tank needs to supply the water to the entire city. So how the distribution will take place, how the water head is going to change as far as the distance is concerned. So all this activity is done in the WaterGem software. So we can import the GIS map in the WaterGem software. So you can have a real life, what is say, a city in software, and accordingly, depending on the elevation, now we can choose and we can design how much diameter of the pipe is required, and what will be the pressure which is required at different end, and what will be the velocity will be getting at the other end. So this is about the WaterGem software. So similarly, like WaterGems is there, there is a SewerGem also. Okay, so SewerGem is exactly similar as the WaterGem, but only thing is WaterGem is dealing with the distribution of water, and sewer gem is dealing with the distribution of the water which is due to the waste. Okay, so whatever waste is coming out of your residences and the other establishment, so how it will be distributed and how it will be collected at one small end, and then it will be go for the treatment. So that part is covered in the called as sewer gems. Okay, then we have a very interesting area, that is the soil engineering. So in the soil engineering, one of the most popular software which is used is the Plaxis. Okay, so Plaxis initially it was an independent software, but now it is taken overtaken by the Bentley, and now this Plaxis comes under the Bentley platform. So Plaxis has got a very wide use of wide uses as far as this soil engineering is concerned. Okay, it is basically a finite element based software. Apart from that, we have a software called as a Geo5. So GA5 is not actually a single software, it is a bundle of a software. So we have different modules in Geo5, like there is a stability analysis or maybe excavation design, settlement analysis, deep foundation, and many more. Okay, so there are 15 to 20 Geo5. Get this information about Geo5 from the website called as finesoftwares.eu oblique geotechnical softwares. Just to have a quick review of this, so let us say we can go for the excavation. So we can go for the excavation design. So whenever you have to go for a deep excavation, you can do the simulation in the software, and you can calculate how much is the supporting sheets are required, whether anchorage is required or not. Everything can be done in the software. Then we can go for the stability of slope as well as rock. So this is essential as far as the dams are concerned, or the dams, or maybe dams which are made up of stones and soil. So here we have to see the water pressure also there, water leakage is also there. So entire thing can be taken care in the stability of this particular module. Then we can go for the foundations also. Okay, so whenever there is a foundation, large foundation is there, so we can analyze soil pressure below the foundation using this particular feature. Then we can go for the retaining wall structures. Okay, so you can see in this particular figure the entire soil is getting supported by the retaining wall. So you can see in this particular figure the analysis is done, and we can see the probable solutions and probable failures as far as the retained structures are concerned. Then we can have the reinforced slope. So most of the time, at the angle of the slope is on the higher side. So that slope is not at all permissible in some of the cases. So we can go for the reinforced slope. So this analysis of this reinforced slope can be done in this particular module. Then we can go for the settlement analysis, because over the period of time, the settlement of the soil will take place. So in this figure, you can see this is the initial soil process or the initial soil level. And you can see over the period of time, the soil is getting sunk. And because of this, the structure is going to get collapsed. Okay. So this type of analysis is done in this feature called as a settlement analysis. Okay. Now, coming to the most interesting area, that is structural engineering. So many of you may be aware of few terms like SAP or maybe a STAD, maybe a MIDAS and ETABS. So these are the four softwares which are very, very widely used in the field of structural analysis and design. Okay, so all these four softwares, they work on a background method of either finite element method or the matrix method. Okay, uh, SAP, let us start with the SAP. So SAP is basically structural analysis program. So it is a software which is developed by a company called as Computers and Structures. Okay, and this is a basically structural analysis and design software, and this is very widely used in India. Okay, probably outside India it is not that much used, but in India, especially in the Pune and Mumbai region and in the Delhi region, SAP is very widely used for analysis of either buildings, bridges, and many structures. Okay, Similar kind of software is there, that is called as STAD Pro. So STAD stands for Structural Analysis and Design. So it has got a very long history. The STAD is basically developed by a company called as a Research Engineers, and for many years it was owned by Research Engineers. And then someday Bentley came into picture, and Bentley has purchased this software from the Research Engineers, and they have developed this particular software to a very higher level. So initially it was used for design of only residential building, but now this STAD is used for design of main structures, bridges and priestess girders, and residential building, of course, multi-story structures, wind, tall structures, earthquake. Many things can be done in the STAD Pro nowadays. Okay. Earlier it was called as STAD Pro V8i. It was in the Select series, but recently the STAD Pro has been improved, and the newer version of STAD Pro is there in the market, which is called as a Connect Edition. And this Connect Edition is much better than the earlier edition, that is the Select Edition, that is STAD Pro V8i. Now in the latest version, we have many IS codes which are included in this. So always remember, guys, like whenever you are using a structural design software, make sure that whatever IS code it is used by the that particular software, those IS codes should be the latest one. You should not go for the design of buildings or design of any structure using a software which is based on the older IS code. Okay, so always make sure that you are using the correct IS code for the design, because it is going to create a lot of trouble when you go for the sanction. So this latest version of this STAD Pro Connect Edition has got all the latest softwares, and they are continuously upgrading these softwares and increasing their IS code library. This particular software also has got the codals provisions for other countries also. So if you have access to the this STAD Pro, you can go for the design of any residential building or any structure using, say, New Zealand IS code, or maybe a Euro code, or maybe a US code. Okay, all those codes are available in the STAD Pro software. Okay, then this is next is the Midas. So Midas is recently come up software. It's a very useful software. It is on the same grounds as far as the STAD is concerned, but nowadays this software is also used by many of the structural designing firm. So it has got also many modules like Midas Gen, Midas Civil, Midas FEA. So many modules are there, and every module is basically used for a specific purpose. Okay, like for Midas Gen is very much similar to your STAT. So you can use this Midas Gen for a typical residential building design, but for other purposes you have to use the other module. Okay, so this is used for steel design as well as for the RCC design. In the STAD Pro, you can even go for the RCC design, steel design, you can go for aluminum design, even you can go for the timber design. Okay, so all these facilities are available in most of the softwares. Then lastly is the ETAB. So this ETAB is also developed by the Computer Science Structures company, and this is this is more or less a sister of SAP. So this ETAB is basically used for analysis as well as design. Okay, so here also some IS codes are available, and based on those IS code, we can use this ETAB for the structural design. And this ETAB is very widely used in India, especially in the Marathwada and Mumbai region. Many of the designers, they prefer this particular software, because sometimes this STAD Pro is going to give you the uneconomical design as far as the building is concerned. Okay, so ETAB is going to give you a less economical design, but it will be safe. So this is why the ETAB is very widely used in the designing field. Now coming to the advanced structural analysis. So for going for advanced structural analysis, we have to use a method called as finite element method. So finite element method is one of the oldest method. Probably it was developed 50 years back. and with the help of this finite element method, you can really, based on this method, there are many softwares which are developed in the field. The all the finite element method software, they has got three different modules. One is the pre-processing module, second one is the processing module, and last one is the post-processing module. So in the pre-processing module, you have to go for the input basically, and the post-processing module, you have to go for the you have to see the results. Okay, so this FEA package, the most popular FEA package is ANSYS. Okay, we also have a software called as Abacus, which is also very widely used for finite element analysis. So whether it is Abacus or whether it is ANSYS, we can go for the static analysis, dynamic analysis, harmonic analysis, fatigue analysis, and many more. Okay, even we can go for the analysis of electrical circuits also. So these are some of the analysis features. Okay, we have different modules now. This FEA package, they basically supports any of the file. Like you can go for the modeling even in the AutoCAD. You can create a 3D structure in AutoCAD, and then you can import that particular structure into a FEA software. It can be ANSYS, or it can be even Abacus, or it can be LSDYNA also. Okay, so we can go for many type of materials: linear, elastic, plastic, rigid, soil type. Many features are available in many of the softwares. So as far as civil engineering is concerned, so you can see there is a picture over here which is dealing with the finite element analysis of the reinforced concrete tunnel. So here you can see there is a soil at the top, there is a soil at the bottom, there is a soil just next to this one. And this particular gray color is basically your concrete. So how your stresses distribution will be there in the concrete, so that can be analyzed, and accordingly we can design the section. Here you can see there is a beautiful picture of the bridge. So you can see this kind of bridge you might have seen, similar kind of bridge you might have seen in the metro. So this particular structure can be designed or analyzed using the finite element method software. This is also used for the soil also. So this you might have seen in your theory class. So this is a foundation, and on the foundation there is a load, and because of this load, the stress contours are developed in this particular form. So all this analysis can be done over here. So you can see just below the foundation there are heavy stresses, and as you go away from the foundation, the stresses are going to get reduced and they are going to get neutralized. Okay, this is one such area. This is called as the shape optimization. So basically, if you see, this is your gusset plate. Let me start the animation. So in the gusset plate, just let me okay. So you can see this is a column, steel column you can see, and there is a steel angle over here. Let me do it once again. So yeah, so you can see this is a steel column over here, and there is a steel section over here. This is L shape, this is also L shape, and both sections, they are joined together with the help of a plate. This is what we call it as a gusset plate. So now whenever you are going for this gusset plate, you can provide a gusset plate in form of a rectangle. But if you go for the rectangle, what is going to happen is the weight of the structure is going to get increased, because most of the portion which are available, which we have provided in the gusset plate, it is not at all required. So what you can do is you can go for the shape optimization in the FEA package, and what can get is this. So you can see that this particular gusset plate, in place of providing a rectangular gusset plate, you can provide a gusset plate which is having this shape. So basically we are trimming the triangular portion of the gusset plate, so that now you can have the reduced weight of the structure. So this can be also seen in this particular image also. You can see this is the gusset plate, and now you can see if you change the shape of this gusset plate from a rectangular one or the square one to a shape which is very much similar to this one. So this particular shape of this gusset plate is sufficient enough to resist all the stresses. But if you see the amount of steel, so initially it was a rectangular or the square shape. Now that this new shape is coming into picture, so the weight of the structure is reduced. So there are n number of plates. So let us say if I am able to reduce the weight of one gusset plate by, let us say, 2 kg, and there are 50 plates which are there in the structure. So ultimately at the end I am able to reduce the 50 into 2, that is 100 kg of weight. So self-weight of the self-weight of the structure, that can be reduced if you go for the shape optimization design. Then we can even have the special design of special structures like beam with opening. So ISO doesn't have any criteria for the analysis of beams with the opening. So you can see this is a steel beam and the openings are required to provide the ducts. This can be a water pipeline, this can be electrical lines or many more. So what you have to do is you have to insert opening over here, and through that opening you can go for the pipes. So all this analysis is not possible in STAAD or in SAP or in MIDAS. So this is a very specific type of analysis, and this can be done only in a FEA package. Now, this is a typical RCC beam design. So most of you have studied that whenever there is a beam which is simply supported and it is subjected to bending, so the stresses which are coming at the top and stresses which are coming at the bottom, they are same. Only thing is at the top there is a compression and at the bottom there is a tension. So here also you can see at the top we have 29 stress, and here at the bottom there is a 29 stress. Only thing is sign is reverse. This is negative, this is positive. So this is compression and this is tension. But when you go for the reinforcement, okay, so this is the beam which is without reinforcement, and you can see this is the beam with reinforcement. So as soon as you provide the reinforcement in this particular structure, so the stress distribution pattern completely changes. And because of this, you will find the tension which is developed in the concrete at the bottom, it is in well permissible limit. Otherwise, if you see over here, the stresses at the bottom, it is on very higher side, and because of that, the concrete is going to crack. Okay, so this kind of simulation that is with reinforcement, we can go for the we can do the analysis in the FEA package. We can also have analysis of tapered beams also, because tapered beam usually it is very difficult to design. We have to design a specific reinforcement for that, and there are certain things which you need to take care, like maximum shear is coming over here. Usually the shear is coming over here, but in tapered beam it is changed. Okay, now this is the project which is done by one of my B project students. So this is the analysis of this fish plate. So if you refer the IS code or the Indian Railway code, there are different types of fish plate. This is 90R and this is 90R T2. Okay. So we have analyzed the fish plate into a FEA package. So they have modeled all these components, like they have modeled the rail, they have modeled even the rivets or the bolts. They have modeled the fish plates over here. You can see this is a fish plate, and at the end what they have got is the deformation. So you can see there is a maximum deformation, and as the wheel of the rail is moving in the on the rail, so the fish plate is going to deform significantly. Okay, so you can see these are the some of the graphs which are giving you the either deformation and the bending stresses. Okay, this is also one of the interesting part. So here you see, here you can see there is a uh, dam which is constructed somewhere in the Maharashtra. So you can see the height of this dam is roughly 5.45 meters. So it is very high. And as you know, this concreting of this particular structure is done in a phase-wise pattern. So you can see this is the first phase. So in the first phase, it is done. The concreting is done for 1 meter. So this 1 meter is a very large concreting. Okay. So whenever there is a large concreting going on, so the amount of the heat which is generated during the concrete hardening phase, it is on the very higher side. So because of this higher heat, what is going to happen is the cracks are going to get developed. So with the help of FEA model, now we can analyze where this maximum heat is generated. So we can analyze this particular structure over a period of say 2 days or maybe 3 days, and we can see how much heat is generated in the concrete structure. And then if we know where the maximum heat is there, then we can provide some the additional water pipes for cooling down that particular structure inside the body. So here you can see this is a typical structure, typical FEA simulation. So where you can see that the internally this red color is showing the maximum temperature. So this is probably after say 3 to 4 hours after the concreting, and here you can see the maximum the heat is will be developed inside the body. And these are the sections which you can see. So from the base it is okay, but after certain base, so somewhere over here it will be giving you the maximum temperature. So we can provide a pipe for cooling at that particular point. Similar kind of analysis can also be done for a building. So this particular simulation shows how much will be the variation of temperature. So if you provide say different kind of bricks or different kind of roofing. So roofing usually it is your concrete, but in case of some regions like Nagpur region, there is an extreme temperature. So what we can do is we can go for even different kind of coats where the temperature can be reduced. So if we know the correct properties, we can simulate this and we can predict how much temperature will be there inside the room before going for the actual construction. So in simulation, if you come to know that no, temperature is not reduced or it is not reduced up to the mark, then we can go for the redesign of this particular layers. So we can go for increase of layers, or if we can go for different materials, and then we can reanalyze it, and then you can go for execution. So with this, a lot of money is saved, but you need to understand this simulation has to be done very correctly, and then only it will be effective. But this kind of simulations can be done. So on the right, you can see the figure where the temperature variation is shown from 28 degrees to 36 degrees. So 36 degrees is this one. So this face is exposed to the sun. And if you go inside the room, the temperature is reduced to 28 degrees. So outside we have 36, but inside we have 28. So there is roughly 8 degree of variation if you provide a specific material wall in the building. Okay. So we can even go for the laminated composites analysis. So most of the time nowadays, for specific purpose, laminated composites are used, let us say for aircraft wing. So aircraft wing or maybe boats. So the fibers are oriented in different directions. So like we have 0 degree, 90 degree, all these directions are there. So you can see this is a layer. So first layer will be a 90 degree, then 45 degree, then minus 45, then 0 degree, 0 degree. So accordingly, the layers of fibers are kept over each other, and then the laminates are done. So these laminated structures can be analyzed only in a FEA package, not in other packages. So this kind of structures can be used for specific region, and because of this increase or because of the orientation difference, so the stress strain pattern is going to change. So usually it will be a straight line, but if you see the straight stress pattern, it will be something like this. Okay, and because of this, the behavior of the structure is going to get changed. So we have analyzed something, and then we have found that which is best, what orientation is best, so that can be simulated on the computer software, and then we can go for actual the construction of the plan. Then this is something very interesting. So this is nonlinear analysis. So you might have studied in the second year level that the elasticity, that is Young's modulus of elasticity, is stress divided by strain. So till now we are going for the design of structure in the elastic region only. Okay, so where stress is directly proportional to the strain. But in the with the help of finite element method, we can go for this analysis. Okay, that is in the nonlinear analysis. So where the stresses and strain are beyond the point A. So it can be at D, it can be at even E. We can even model the fracture also. So here, this is a typical nonlinear analysis which is done in finite element method. So this is the bar elongation. So this you might have studied in the laboratory practical. So in the UTM, we are keeping a steel bar and then we are stretching it and then we are finding out the stresses, or we can get the modulus of elasticity. So this kind of simulation comes under the category of nonlinear analysis. Then we can see the nonlinear behavior in the beam. So here you can see that whenever there is a beam which is subjected to a load, so it is going to get bent. But if the load is crossing a certain magnitude, then this particular beam is going to will be going in the non-linear region. And here you can see the plastic hinge kind of a thing is formed. So this plastic hinge is going to create a non-reversible stresses in the body. So this is a non-linear analysis. So this is something very much similar to this one. So if you take a simple circular tube, if you press this, so this will be compressed, but the shape of that particular structure is going to remain same. It will not regain its own shape. That means we have to go for the non-linear stresses. This is a residual stresses. Residual stresses is very much similar to your nonlinear stresses. So you just imagine that we have taken a simple plate and we have applied a load. So if you apply a load, what will happen? It will be deformed, and if you remove the load, it will regain its own shape. But if the magnitude of the force is very high, then the plate will deform, and if you remove the load, the plate will remain in the same position. So there will be a permanent deformation, and this permanent deformation is going to cause a residual stresses in the structure. Now, this residual stresses can also be analyzed in a FEA package. This is one of the interesting FEA simulation. So everybody is nowadays using mobile phones, and if you have noticed that if you are using the mobile phone for a longer period of time, so the temperature of the mobile phone is going to increase. Okay, so this is a typical simulation of that. So here you can see this is a simple plate which is made of aluminum alloy and copper alloy, which are very widely used in the mobile. So here there is a difference of voltage. So here you can see there is a B and there is a C. So B is over here and C is over here. B is having 5 volt and C is having 0 volt. I should not say volt, it's a millivolt, MV. Okay, so it's a very small value. But if the voltage difference is there between this point and this point, and with this difference in voltage, what is going to happen is the temperature of the material is going to get increased. Now, if the temperature is increased, what will happen? Temperature stresses are going to get developed. So because of this, what will happen? Your mobile is going to get expand, and if the expansion is restricted, or if it is restrained, then the metal is going to be subjected to higher amount of stresses, and there will be a permanent deformation. And this is because of this, the function of the mobile phone, it can be restricted, or even it can even stop working because of the permanent deformation. So this kind of analysis can also be done in the FEA package. Okay, so here you can see this is the total deformation. So you can see the metal plate is elongated basically. Okay. Now this FEA can also be used in the biomedical engineering also. So the biggest task in the biomedical engineering is to create the model, because creating a model of, let us say, beam which is having 200 mm width and 300 mm depth and 5,000 millimeter length. So these are the standard values. But in case of biomedical engineering, it is very difficult for us to model the structure. So we have to use special softwares, and with the help of special softwares, we can model anything. Okay, so you can get a CT scan and you can import those CT scan into FA package, and then you can analyze this one. So this is a heart simulation. You can go for the teeth simulation. You can go for even the bone simulation. So everything can be done in the FEA package. Now, another area is the impact analysis. So this is a very simple simulation. So where you can see a simple ball is getting dropped on a plane surface. So here, what is happening over here is, so the ball is having a travel velocity, certain travel velocity and it is having a certain mass. So because of and it is also dropping from a certain distance. So because of all these three parameters, certain amount of force is developed, and that force will be applied on this bottom plate, and this bottom plate will be subjected to a impact loading. So whenever there is an impact, so whatever is the weight of the structure or whatever is the weight of that particular ball, plus some additional weight will be there, and that will act as a force on this particular plate. So this impact is going to create a lot of trouble as far as this thing is concerned, design is concerned. So the best example is this: you just imagine that there is a construction going on and some equipment which is located at certain height, and it is by mistake it is getting dropped at the bottom. And if it is weight is, let us say, 50 kg or maybe 80 kgs, and if it is dropping from a distance of 4 meter, so the amount of impact or the magnitude of impact force will be very high, and it may happen that the structure on which it is collapsing, so that structure may get failed. So this kind of analysis is required. It must be done, and to calculate the forces, impact forces, we can do this kind of simulation where the body is getting impacted on a certain face. Okay. Then axial buckling. Now you must be aware that whenever if you take a single column and if you apply a load, so ideally it should be compressed vertically straight away. So you can see in this animation that it is getting compressed vertically. But what actually happens is it is getting buckled. So what is buckling? Buckling is something like this. So you can see even if the load is acting vertically, so your column is not compressing in the vertical direction, but instead it is moving in the lateral direction. And lateral direction, it will be buckling only on the longer side. So this is what we call it as a buckling. So whenever you go for the analysis of column or maybe any other structure, so we can do the buckling analysis on whether you can see for a certain amount of load whether the structure is either buckling or whether it is going for the axial compression. If it is going for axial compression, okay, your design is going to remain safe. But if it is buckling, then you have to go for different provisions. You have to provide some special kind of arrangements to avoid the buckling. So similar kind of thing can be seen in the beams also. So this is a simply supported beam. So you can see ideally your simply supported beam, it should bend like this. Okay, but what is happening over here is actually it is buckling like this. Okay, so this lateral restraint has to be provided if you don't want beam to buckle. Okay, so this particular buckling happens only in case of thin structures. So like I section, your web is very thin. So in that case, the buckling is going to happen in the lateral direction. Similarly, you can see the cantilever also. So ideally, the cantilever, it should bend like this, but in actually it is bending like this. So even if the load is acting vertically, so it is not bending in the vertical direction, but instead it is going for lateral buckling, and this buckling has to stop. For this, we have to find out the load factor, and then we can find out the actual buckling load at which the beam is going to start buckle. And if your actual load is greater than the buckling load, then we have to provide the arrangements, special arrangements to avoid the buckling part. Then we can even go for the earthquake analysis. So you can see this is a typical room kind of structure, frame structure. There are 4 columns, there is a slab, and it is subjected to only gravity loading. Okay, so because of this gravity loading, it is going to bend like this. But in the event of earthquake, what is going to happen is the entire structure is going to be subjected, will be subjected to the lateral loads, and because of this lateral load, now you can see the building is getting deflected in the x direction. Okay, so let me show it once again. So ideally it should be when without earthquake it will be deflecting like this, but in the event of earthquake it will be deflecting like this. So there will be a bending which is developed in the column, and for that purpose you have to design the reinforcement accordingly. Then lastly, the model analysis. So model analysis is basically done for vibration. So whenever there is a structure which is subjected to free vibration, so the structure can behave in a different modes. Okay, so it can be done or it can behave in different patterns depending on the frequencies. So all those frequencies can be calculated, and it can be, you can see this is the first frequency where the elongation is taking place. This is the second frequency where the bending is going to take place. In the third one, the bending is in the third direction. So correspondingly, this is the torsion kind of a thing. So all these modes, they can be seen in the modal analysis, and the best use of this modal analysis is in the harmonic analysis. So you must be familiar with the term called the resonance. So in the resonance, what happens is, if the frequency of the structure is matching with the frequency of the load, in that particular case, the amount of or the effect of load is increased. So even if the structure is safe for the given load, but if both the frequency of the structure and frequency of the load is matching, so then that structure may not be safe. So that harmonic analysis can be done in a FEA package. Now, this is a very interesting thing. You might have seen this particular video. So this is the explosion which took place a few months back in the Beirut city. So there was a fire in the factory which is having the ammonium nitrate was stored in this particular factory, and there in the due to this fire, this ammonium nitrate got exploded like anything. So you might have studied, you might have seen this video in the newses. Okay, so if you see this video, you can see there is a building which is just next to that factory, and because of this building, you can see the effect of the force is reduced like anything, just on the structure which are located behind the that building. So here you can see, so here there is a explosion which is taking place, and there is a big building over here. So there will be a very chances of damage for this particular structure is less, but for remaining it will be on the higher side. So now why I am showing you this is because later on the simulation of this entire city was done in a FEA package. So you can see this is a simulation which is done in the FEA package. So where this entire city was modeled, and this explosion was simulated in a FEA package. So this kind of simulation can be done in a software called as Abacus. Let me show you the explosion once again. And remember, this is a computer simulation, and then we can go for the assessment of the damage of each and every structure over here. So this is also one of the area where you can use the FEA package for the analysis of blast. And these packages, they are mainly used to design the blast resistant structures, and blast resistant structures are required in the army. So whenever you may be having a enemy attack, and where they may be a bombarding, and because of those bombs, the explosions are going to take place, and you should be in a position to design a structure such a way that it should be in a position to resist that particular blast. So for that resistance, you need to understand how much the blast will be there, how much blast force will be generated, and those blast force can be simulated in the FEA package. Okay, there is another term called as CFD, that is a computational fluid dynamics. So computational fluid dynamics is basically another part of FEA where the flow of fluid is studied. So the best example is over here. Okay, so here we can see this is a dam, or this is the reservoir. On this there is a dam, and this dam is now getting collapsed. So the recently couple of 4 or 5 days back, we have seen what is happening over in the Uttarakhand. Similar kind of situation is there, where due to the avalanche, like sudden there is a water which is coming from the reservoir, and it has destroyed one power plant and many cities. So in this simulation, you can see in the red color, this is the velocity of the water. So at this level, the velocity of water is very high, and you can see the slowly this water is approaching toward the catchment area, or the area which is just next to the river. And you can see this bridge was there over here, and this bridge is now under the flood. So this area is now also flooded. So with the help of this CFD study, now you can see in this event, let us say this dam is getting break. So in that particular event, what will happen, which area will be affected, and by how much amount, that can be simulated with the help of this CFD simulation. This is also done in FEA related package. So we have a package called as Fluent. So with the help of Fluent, we can do this analysis. That is a computational fluid dynamics analysis. Okay. This is one of the simulation which is very interesting one. So here you see there is a room. Okay. Nowadays everybody is installing a air conditioner in their room. So sometimes what happens, your air condition is not working properly. So before installing the air condition, you can see you can modeled. Okay. Now how to model this entire city or the entire terrain? So this can be done in a software which is called as reality modeling software. So we have one software available with us that is called as a context capture, which is developed by Bentley. Okay. Now how this context capture is going to work? So if you have a simple object, so this is you have one object. Let us say this can be even a small box or even a building or even entire city. So what exactly we are doing is we are taking photos from different angles. Okay. So here you can see the let us say this is a building. So the building is captured by different angles, and all these photos are then inserted into a software called as context capture. And this is a typical image processing software, and whatever photos you have uploaded, based on that this structure is going to get created, and believe me, it is going to create with the 100% accuracy. So all those cities, so you can see this is a typical picture where this entire city is captured. Now how to capture this entire city? So this particular software works on different ways. So if you are working on a very small model, in that case you can use even your cell phone. Okay, you have, everybody's having nowadays cell phone. So you take a object and you take a photograph of that object from your cell phone from different angles. You upload those photos into a software, and the software is going to give you a 3D model with accurate dimensions. So if you have a larger objects, so you can use a DSLR camera. Let us say if you want to model a building, so for the modeling of building, you take a DSLR camera with a higher resolutions, and you take a photograph of that building from all the sides, like this one. Okay, so this one you can take the photographs from all the sides using DSLR camera, and then you can upload those images into a software, and software is going to give you a image of that particular building. If you want to go for a very larger structure, you can use even a drone. Okay, so you have access to a drone, you take a photograph using that drone for a larger period of for larger area, and those images you have to upload into a software, and then software is going to give you a real model or the real time model of that particular area. So that model can be created in a context capture software, and the file which is created using this context capture software, it can be imported into another software. So it can be used for CFD simulation, it can be used for blast simulation, it can be used for FES simulation. So all these things can be done with the help of this context capture software. Okay, this is a very wonderful software. So we have the software available with us. So any of B students of our college, if attending this one, you can have access to this software and can work on this software. Okay. Then ArcGIS. So ArcGIS, I think Dr. Sarang Paranspe has already covered this particular software. So this is used for the image processing, and this can be used. This image processing can be done for the various analysis. Okay, this is already covered, so I won't be going into much details of this. Okay, then coming to the last portion, that is the Bentley. So Bentley is a company which is developing softwares exclusively for civil engineers. Okay, and those softwares which are not developed by Bentley, but they have captured those softwares, and nowadays all the major softwares which are related to civil engineering, they are in the umbrella of Bentley. Okay, so Bentley offers more than 50 softwares. I'm saying 50, more than 50 softwares in the various domains. Like we have the bridge analysis. So in bridge analysis we have 3 softwares. In the building design we have 4 5 softwares. In the area of civil design we have Geopack, Inroads, Bentley, many other things. So this is related to the roads and railways. Then hydraulic, we have already seen the this WaterGem, WaterCAD, SewerCAD, StormCAD, and many more. In the mine design also, the softwares are developed by the Bentley. The modeling and visualization area. Then offshore, of course, if you are interested, you can go for this offshore structures. These are very high in demand. So those who are having good knowledge of these particular softwares, they will be getting very highly paid jobs, because there are very specific users for this particular software, and the package is on very higher side if you are working in the offshore structural analysis. Then plant design also is there. Then reality modeling, I have already covered the context capture from the reality modeling. Then of course the structural analysis. So in the structural analysis domain, we have STAD, and then STAD is also having different components over there. So all those are covered in the Bentley product. And lastly, the programming part. So we are civil engineers, we have to use the softwares for many purposes, but most of the time the softwares are not available. So in that particular case, you can even go for the programming. So programming, mostly I have seen, like most of the students, they are afraid of the programming. I don't know why. They might think that the programming is very difficult, but the programming is quite simple. You don't have to worry much. If you know the syntax correctly, you can even go for the larger programs also. So one of the most popular programming language nowadays is Python. So Python is used for traditional programming as well as the programming in graphics. Okay, graphics in the sense, like you can even the import the geo or the Google Map files in the Python programming. Okay, so if you have access to the many of the databases, you can use the databases also, and that database can be used for the specific purpose. So it is not about softwares or using softwares. We can even develop our own programs using the Python, or even maybe a VB, or maybe your VC. But the programming is must, and nowadays it's a era of computers. So it is very much essential for a civil engineer to know few softwares as well as at least one programming language, so that he or she can excel in the career. Okay, so I think this is all from my side, and I think I have covered many of the softwares. So thank you very